Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I got a quick little video for you guys today. We're going to be doing some threading on the Smithy lathe mill drill. For those of you who've been hanging around throughout this process, you may recall that a while back we made a new nut for our old Arbor, but the problem is the wear on these threads is basically tapered. So by the time I could get the nut on all the way, because these threads aren't that worn, and you can see it starts out super gross and sloppy, and then by the time I get in here it's quite tight. It's actually quite nice when I'm way in there. But now I want to use this new nut with my new Arbor, and because I custom made the nut to fit the worn threads, the threaded hole in here is actually smaller than nominal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a tap through. That'll bring these threads right up to nominal. Then when I cut the threads on my new Arbor, I'll fit them to this nut and get it fitting hopefully just right, and that way it'll all be back to nominal thread sizes. This is just taking the very slightest skim out of here. This nut was just a shade under nominal. Now I'm going to set my quick change gearbox to 18 threads per inch. So that's number 2 here and number 3 here. That should be 18 threads per inch. Now I'm going to engage my thread chasing dial. I'm setting the finish position of the threads. I'm just going to match that up to the existing here. There. Now so my quick change gearbox is set. I've got my thread chasing dial engaged. I have my split nut engaged with my thread chasing dial at 0. Also, that's happening exactly where I want to stop cutting my thread. My crossfeed handle is, the handle is horizontal and on the left, and it's set to 0. So now I just need to touch off my compound rest and I can begin cutting this thread. This is my finish position for the thread, and as usual, I'm going to set my dial with about 80 thou on it after it touches the cross slide, and that's where I'll know to pull out every single time on every pass. Now that I've taken the slightest little cut here, like 2 thou deep, I'm going to check that with my thread pitch gauge and just make sure that I am in fact cutting the proper pitch, and that looks good. Back to 0. I put some feet on there. I'm just going to wait for my 0 to come around.
Almost?
Not quite. Should be getting close pretty soon here. Just in case I'm pushing up a burr on top on the outside diameter of this as I'm threading, I'm just going to give it a lick with some emery because I don't want that burr giving me a false reading on the nut. almost, almost.
Another thou?
Yeah. I've got that nut on actually backwards right now, but I'm calling that an absolute, well, perfect's a bit of a strong word, but there's zero slop or wiggle in this. I'm perfectly happy with that fit. So that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you'd like to see this full project of making this wheel arbor, you can check that out over here. See you in the next one.